So again, this video is not a critique of the tarp itself, but more checking the viability of using a tarp in the field versus a tent. So with this particular tarp, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stakeout points on each side, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, the wind's picking up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so there's 5 on each side. So what I'm going to do is, so I just did a quick practice run, setting it up with just my GoPro on, and it was a pain in the butt. The wind was kind of blowing, and my centerpiece that holds the tent up in the middle like fell over. It was like a whole thing, and the wind kicked up, and it was like blowing all over the place. I was like, all right, I was like, hold on a second. All right, so I got this back end staked down. Basically this corner and this corner I'm going to fold underneath. So I'm already thinking, like, why would I go through all this for an overnight if I can just set up my tent? You just have to be careful when putting your stakes into the ground, because they could end up looking like this or like that if you're not doing it right. So I grab my walking stick. That's going to go underneath to hold the tent up underneath. And I might fall down, but I know what I'm trying to stake, so. All right, so I'm just gonna hold that right there. I'm gonna grab this end piece here and grab a stake. I'm just going to pin you down to the same area as the one in on the back end. So it's going to go about right here. And then once it's set up, then you can always restake it. You can always restake it. Grab this corner. This is the outer edge, the one in the corner. And come in about right here. And said, and it's all estimating. Oh! Let me move you in. Right here. All right, so that's in. So I'm going to stake out one in and one in on the right side. I'm going to do the same thing on the left side. And again, these are just estimations. Wow. Now that kind of noise, I don't mind. All right. Grab 2 more stakes and stake out. One in again on the left side, one in and one in. All right, and I'll push them all in later. This end, fold that under. This corner as well. All right, so that leaves the front. So since you staked in this corner, you staked in this corner and this corner, that leaves 3 tie-in points in the middle. 1, 2, 3. Grab one out from the middle and bring them together like that. Here and down. Stick you in. So my initial thoughts are 3 things. Number 1, that was a hell of a lot of work to put up a tarp for an overnight. And you don't want to expend, you don't want any extra weight. You want to bring any extra weight with you, but you also don't want to use up any extra energy that you don't have to. So if you're out there for more than, if you're out there for 2, 3, 4 nights, you don't want a whole lot of extra energy used up, extra calories burned trying to get something like this set up, as opposed to just popping up a tent real quick. And unless something like this, you would have to practice it a number of times to be more comfortable in the field when you're out doing an overnight. And the second thing is, if weather comes in and you have rain, water can still get in underneath. If you're in a tent, water's not going to get in underneath. So that's number 2. It's water infiltration. And concern number 3, depending on where you are, there might be creepy crawlies around. It could be snakes, scorpions, that type of thing. Where I go, there are snakes and scorpions. In fact, one of my overnights I did last year, or a year and a half ago, there was a big old rattlesnake within my camp perimeter. So you have to be aware of that as well. So creepy crawlies, snakes, scorpions can still get in underneath. My thought right now is, if I go out into the field, what I can do is I'll fold it up and I'll do a test run, just packing my backpack, and see how it fits, see how it feels. But my initial thoughts are, I will probably continue to use my tent for my overnights. Let me know what you think. Like I said, maybe there's easier ways to set up your tarp. You can always go on YouTube and find, like I said before, you'll find 50 different ways to set up your tarp, depending on its size. So now I'll crawl in and see how much space is in there too. All right, so here we go. Well, for one thing, it's hot in here. So here's one corner that's pulled in, and here's the other corner right there. So you can put stuff on top of that. You can put stuff on top of that. So right now it seems like there is plenty of room for all my stuff. There's plenty of room. The door is tied back, and I can kind of just nestle in here there's no way to really avoid this center support here without giving up headspace. Like I said earlier, there were no tie outs along either center line on the outside, so I can't pull anything out to give myself more headroom. So that's unfortunate. So along with my critiques or my cons is being aware of the temperature, because it's really warm in here. It might be a good thing if it chills down at night and it can hold in some of this heat. That might be a really good thing. I didn't think about that, because usually where I go, it tends to get pretty chilly at night. And like last time I went about a month ago, and the nighttime temperature, when I brought my my ultralight tent, and it went down to, had to go down to about 40 degrees. So it was pretty chilly. So if this holds in heat like this, then that would make for a much warmer night. I don't have to worry about the campfire going during the night. And but yeah, like I said, the concerns are like the creepy crawlies. I was concerned about the headroom. That's the other thing. But it seems like I would have enough headroom, because like I said, I'm only coming in here to lay down and sleep anyway. So just kind of avoiding this ridge pole. I mean, it's not going to come out because it's pretty sturdy into the ground. It might actually work. So, like I said, aside from the rain, if it rains, and aside from any creepy crawlies getting in, it might work. Like I said, if it holds in this amount of heat, that would be a good thing for the nighttime. And the other concern is the larger footprint. So, footprint being the perimeter. If you measure all the way around the base of the tarp, it's a pretty wide perimeter. So, like with a tent, you'll have a smaller perimeter and more headspace all around you. Where this, it's a wider perimeter and less headroom, except for the very middle where this support beam is. But still, it might work. I mean, there'll even be enough room for, if I wanted to bring my son Max, if I wanted to bring him out, I could be on this side and he could be on the other side of this guy. So it's a possibility, definitely a possibility. So I'll have to do a test run with the pack and see if it makes sense as far as weight of the pack, and also the weight distribution within the pack. So now I'm going to attempt to crawl out. So I guess the other thing is, if you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night too, which happens, you got to make sure you can crawl out of there in a timely manner. But I think it was a good enough test where it's worth a further investigation. So I'll test it with doing folding it up and packing it in my backpack and seeing how it feels with that in there, if there's a significant difference. I mean, it's nice to have options, so that's always important too when it comes to going out and doing overnights. So I think, if there's nothing else, I think I'm gonna sign off right about now. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next go around. Bye.